It's the Daily Dog.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. I am thankful that you are joining me today because, my friends, it is a Monday, and y'all know what happens on Mondays. We are making today a metal Monday, as we often do, but today is not just any metal Monday. We are going back to music by Iron Maiden, and so today, up the irons, y'all. It's a Maiden Monday, and I am excited to get back to music by Iron Maiden with their song The Thin Line Between Love and Hate. This one comes to us from Estron, who recommended this on our Discord. Thank you, Estron. So this song is from Brave New World, the band's 12th album. It was released in May of 2000, and this would be the first album to welcome back Bruce Dickinson after he had left the band in 1993. It is also the first album to have Adrian Smith back with the band after he left in 1990. So with Brave New World, the band is recording as a six-piece for the first time, as Janet Gers, who replaced Adrian back in 1990, stayed on with the band. The title of the album, Brave New World, and the title track are overt references to the dystopian novel of the same name by Aldous Huxley. And I was looking into it, y'all, with as many songs as I have listened to by Iron Maiden on the channel. I have only heard Blood Brothers, I think, previously from this album. So it's an album that I haven't really dove into very much, but I am curious to listen to this one. It is the final track on the album and credits Dave Murray and Steve Harris as songwriters. I will be making use of the original studio recording as we go. So, my friends, we've got Bruce Dickinson on vocals, Dave Murray, Adrian Smith, and Janet Gers on guitars. Steve Harris is on the bass, and Nico McBrain is on the drums. Let us go and figure out what's going on with The Thin Line Between Love and Hate by Iron Maiden. Here we go. Heavy, right into it. Love the flam on the drums, the double hit. It's just a way to make that big snare a bit of a broader sound, right? Double time. Harmony. Bruce is singing with Bruce in the verse here, it sounds like. But what makes a man decide take the wrong or the righteous road? There's a thin line between love and hate. Why the divide that you can see between good and bad? There's a great place between black and white, but everyone does have the right to 5 and 6 in. Cool. So one of the interesting things that I hear so far, I'm trying to figure out if they're actually an F sharp minor or B minor, because of the way that it's those chords are going back and forth between each other. The interesting thing here is in this little spot where they start talking about the thin line between love and hate. The meter there is interesting. 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5 and 6 in, right? Is how they're doing it. Right? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then the 5 and 6, the 5th and 6th beat are only duples. 13, 14, and 15, 16. So there's 16 fast beats in that pattern, which is also 4/4, right? If you do it a slightly different way. So they're dividing that 4 up into an asymmetrical 6, which I think allows them to overlay this different type of metrical structure over a 4/4. So I think we may go back and forth between 4 and 6 in an asymmetrical way as we go. Speaking of that, on we go.
On society these days, but what kind of good or bad a new generation brings. Sometimes takes just more than that to survive, be good and hard.
Right, so it's an F sharp chord and a B chord, but which one? That's a B to an F sharp. Bruce. I will live forever, Bruce is singing to us. The heart will die, but my soul will fly. Big time. Woo! F sharp. For the first solo, or an F sharp, I believe.
Just a few small tears between someone happy and one sad. Just a thin line drawn between being a genius or insane.
Just a thin line drawn between being a genius or insane. Interesting line. Flat 6, flat 7, 1, and F sharp. And that's a 4-chord progression. Right? It's F sharp. F sharp down to D, then A, then E. A 4-chord song on that little part. Big time solo. Same progression. F sharp, down to D, A, E, and that melody is awesome. Back to that slower 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4 hand. Cool. Flat 2 into that F sharp. I love the big heavy riff. There's that flat 2, right? There's a flat 2, 1. Great sound. I love this slow down little section here. I gotta believe we're gonna ramp back up again. was amazing. Really clarion from Bruce up there in that high range. That high B was as beautiful a high B as I think I've ever heard from him. Another solo. That's F sharp. Down to E, subtonic. This is awesome. That's a sharp and the E, right? Should be F sharp 7. E in both chords. So the guitar, the thin line between love and hate, that's the melody that Bruce was singing.
Between love and hate.
Great. Wow. And that's how the album ends. They left a little bit in from the open mics, maybe, at the end of that recording session. Woo! Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I really, really enjoyed that one. That was one of the more enjoyable ones from Iron Maiden that I remember hearing. It was harmonically more interesting than most of their songs that I've heard. And they've got 3, I think, different big-time solos in that. I enjoyed all of them. Bruce's vocals are on point. And I think the weakest part, if I was to pick out a weak part in that, is when they're going at the faster tempo in those early verses. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-dee-da-dee-da-da. It's a little bit less effective, I think, than the rest of the musical ideas in the piece. But that's what's staying with me is the other stuff. The thin line. Sorry for my singing. You know, but that beautiful range. And it was a B down to a B. He spun that octave, right, over those last 2 chords. And when we start on that B over the F sharp chord, it's a dissonance. And then he goes up to the note to go up to the 5th of the chord, and then as he goes down to the lower B, he lands on that E chord, and it's a more consonant interval there. Really, really great. I found a quote from Bruce about this particular song. He says it's basically about karma. In other words, what goes around comes around, and you reap what you sow. There's hope if you have done the right stuff. Otherwise, down you go to the pit of hell. Well, Bruce, saying what he thinks, as usual. As we go through the lyrics here, it is a statement of the importance of free will. That we should be free to choose and make decisions on how to live our lives and what actions we will or will not undertake. In this pre-chorus that they come back to, there's a thin line between love and hate. There's a wider divide that you can see between good and bad. There's a gray place between black and white, but everyone does have the right to choose the path that he takes. And later on, there was a really great line, just a thin line between being a genius or insane. Isn't that true? Right? So what an interesting tune, especially at the end of an album that is based on or takes inspiration from Brave New World, that dystopian famous novel, right? So I'd be interested to see if there's any tie-in with the story from earlier songs in the album, and if this one kind of serves as a here's what we've learned and here's how we're going to go forward as they wrap up the album. Really, really great stuff. I enjoyed myself immensely on that with a Maiden Monday. It's great to get back to Iron Maiden and their song The Thin Line Between Love and Hate. Thank y'all for being with me for this Maiden Monday episode of The Irons, y'all. We'll see you next time on another edition of The Daily Doug.